Oh, I need to turn the camera around. There we go. Oh my goodness. Using spring water. I'm using spring water because we're moving and I gotta get rid of it anyhow. Don't want to take 30 gallons of spring water with us across state lines. Anywho, welcome to the grow area and welcome to the channel. I'm Danny. I hope this video finds you well wherever you are watching from and whatever you're doing. I have to repot this orchid here because it came unpotted and it still has that plug on there. See that plug that's still on there? And it needs repotted and a couple snips and stuff. So we're going to repot that. And we're going to use New Zealand sphagnum moss. So as you guys might know, moss has skyrocketed in price. And this is still $6 a bag at Lowe's, if you can find it. If you can find it. Not all Lowe's carries it, but it's the better grow stuff. And it's not a huge bag, but it'll do for about 4 or 5 medium to large size orchids. So we're gonna let that soak. There's a stem stick in there. I'm gonna let that soak and do some trimming on these roots, and I'll show you what you need to get rid of. Where did my clippers go? There they are. And we're gonna get this plug. So this is the plug, as some people call it. It's what they potted it up in as a seedling. And I'm gonna soak the roots just to get them a little bit more pliable. I don't know. Yeah. And we're gonna take off anything that looks like this. So healthy roots are nice and plump, and dead rotting roots are kind of flat and mushy, and the skin comes off of them real easy. And you can leave that core. You can leave that core if you want to, or you can cut it. And no, I don't use gloves. I don't use tweezers. And what you would call a lazy orchid grower. There's that plug, came right off there. And it's just like a sponge, kind of. I don't know. It's very, very strange. And this is a little bit faster than cutting it. I just take that dead root flesh off there. Some people have a fit about the way I do it, but that's all right. That one's a little stiff. Get the fiskers. I use these fiskers for everything from my orchids to my lilac bushes. I just trimmed my lilac bushes today with these things. Now this root here, it's not green, but it's white, and that's all right. That just means this part of the root has never seen sunshine, so it's never photosynthesized. So you can see that part of the root's green, that part of the root's green, and then right here, this root must have been tucked up in the middle of the pot, and it's just never seen sunshine, so it's never photosynthesized. So don't worry if you have one of those translucent or white. You're so sweet, honey. My daughter just came down. What's up? I know, I see that. So don't worry about that. Okay, so all the dead roots are off there. And I'll show you what we're gonna pot it up in. We're gonna recycle the plastic pot it was already in. And we're gonna put a little thin layer of moss down at the bottom. Again, we're using New Zealand sphagnum moss. Down here at the bottom. And you don't wanna, I tell people on my TikTok channel that you don't wanna have the mindset of a house plant when you come to repotting, like, oh, we need to go up in size, up in size. It depends on the root ball. And because if you pot your root ball up in a pot that's too large, it's gonna stay wet for too long, and those roots are gonna stay wet for too long, and then your roots are gonna rot. Remember, orchid roots want to dry out, and I think I just splashed you guys, and they wanna do that in a timely manner. Now, I can't say how long it's going to take your orchid to dry out in your growing environment, because keep in mind, love you too, honey, keep in mind everybody's growing environment is different. And there's so many factors that play into how fast your orchid's root system is going to dry out. So if anybody ever tells you you need to water your orchid, you need to run water through your orchid's roots every 7, 10, 12, 21 days, don't listen to that, because they don't know how long it's going to take your orchid to dry out in your growing environment, okay? Like I said, there's so many factors that play into it. One being the humidity in your house, what part of the world you live in. Do you have your ceiling fans going constantly, or do you have no airflow at all? What is your orchid potted in? Is it potted in moss? Moss is going to hold moisture the longest, where stone is going to hold moisture. Well, stone doesn't hold moisture, so it's going to dry out much, much faster than moss or bark. Is your orchid potted up in terracotta, which dries out faster than if your orchid's potted up in plastic? So there's just so many factors that go into how fast your orchid is going to dry out. So yeah, if anybody ever says you need to water your orchid every 3, 7, I don't care what number they give you. I don't care, because they don't know. And I don't like to smother my orchids when I repot them. And what I mean by that is I don't like to put moss up here around the stem. I just pot it up enough to keep it stable and in the pot. Just like that. Let's get the decorative pot. I'm really been into the white pots. That's usually not like me. I'm a turquoise, bluish, teal kind of person when it comes to the pots, but I've been into the white pots. They look nice, you know. And there, she's all potted up. It's as simple as that. No tweezers, no gloves, no Kaizen 20, you know. Like I said, I'm a lazy orchid grower. And then there are some spikes that I need to take down. And I do need to water almost everything down here tonight. But I want to give you guys... Oh, let's get this table over here right quick. I want to show you guys something. I got this new little vanilla orchid. It's a variegated vanilla orchid from Fanny's Green Thumb. It actually has 2 growth points happening at the moment. 1, 2. But they have an Etsy. Fanny's Green Thumb. They have an Etsy store. And they're located in Indiana. You guys know that's my home state. So really cool. I've never grown a vanilla orchid, so I'm excited about that. I need to soak my mounted orchids. So before I plop them in there, I'm going to show you how they're doing. This is something popcorn. I lost the ID to it, but this is something popcorn. And this is a brand new growth since being mounted. It's shooting out new roots. It's adjusted really, really well to this mount. And here's an orchid that I've never gotten to rebloom. Lost the ID to it as well. I'm really bad about that, you guys. But I've never gotten this one to rebloom. But it's done really well on this mount. You can see all the new root growth. Where's the other one? Oh, right in front of my face. This is a reliable bloomer for me, Dendrobium jenkinsii. And when I first purchased this from the Maui Orchid Whisperer, it was like this big. It was so tiny. You can see the original mount that it came on, how little it was. And it's a very reliable bloomer. Non-fussy, reliable bloomer, which is what I like. That's what I like. I know it's late at night, so I know there's not too many people on, but if this catches you in the morning, good morning, and I hope you have a great day. Let me get a sip of water here. Oh, I'm going to show you one more new plant, and then I'll get off here. It's not an orchid, but it's been a wish list plant of mine. You guys know I also grow house plants, so it is a, oh my goodness, a ficus. I don't know. It's a variegated ficus called variegated rusty leaf fig. Isn't it beautiful? It is so pretty. And it has a different growth pattern that I've never seen before. It has these offshoots here that grow as well. So I'm going to repot it. This is the pot it came in. I got this from Groovy Plants Ranch for $25. The price of houseplants has just gone down tremendously. The price of orchids. I haven't been buying orchids at all, you guys. I have not been buying orchids because of that. But I hope you guys have a great evening if you're watching right now. And if you see this in the morning, have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Happy growing. Stay safe. Till next time. Bye, everybody.